Hello, in this video tutorial I'm going to talk to you about diffs and spans. Before we start, I want to send your mind back to our display types, where we said inline display types arrange objects in a line, a horizontal line, where a block display type arranges objects in a vertical line. Okay, now with this understanding, let's go ahead and look at what diffs and spans are. Okay, so let me take you to an illustration. Good, this is an illustration I'm going to use to explain to you what diffs and spans are. A diff or a span is a container or a wrapper. So diffs and spans are used to store elements, to store items inside. Okay, so let's look at a diff. A diff is a wrapper or a container we use to store block elements. On the other side, a span is a wrapper or a container we use to store inline items. Diffs and spans are not only used to store but to also group items. See this red line, we use that to group our block items, and that's a diff. Okay, and on top there we have an orange line, we also use that to group our inlined items. So diffs and spans are used for grouping purposes. The best way to understand diffs and spans is practicing and doing. Okay, so let's go to our code editor and then put it into practice, put it into action. Okay, so here is my HTML document opened. I created a file, diffs-spans.html. So we're going to enter our code here for our diff. That's the first wrapper. We're going to look at diffs. I'll go ahead and put less than and put diff, and then we put class. Now, up until now we have not talked of class. This is for our CSS part. Okay, when we get to the CSS part, you understand what classes are. Okay, so class equal to quotes. Inside this code, let's put book like this. Okay, just bear with me, and then we close it. Now let's open it up. Now we said diffs are used to group block items. Now you can see here we have a class book. That means the things we're going to be putting here is going to consist of books. Okay, so let's go ahead and then list our books, but in this case I'm going to use the p tag because p tag in HTML is a block item. Okay, so p, and then I'll put type of books here. Okay, so let's just say note book like this. Let's duplicate it. Let's put storybook. So okay, let's put ebook. Okay, it's a type of book. Okay, let's put storybook, duplicate, and let's put history book, Good, so these are types of what? Books. We use div to group them. Okay, so I'll take you to our development browser, reload. You can see these are books and they are arranged vertically. That's why I said divs are used to group block items. Okay, I hope it's clear. Let's come down and then we'll put another div. So div, let's open it up like this. We come here inside the head, we put class. Don't worry about the class because this is a CSS property. Okay, this time we're going to put colors. So colors, and guess it, inside here we're going to list colors. There's something I've not talked to you about. There's yet another tag in HTML called the list items. Okay, so li supports the block display type. Okay, so let me write the code to explain, that way you understand better. So I'll put ul, which is an ordered list because we're going to list items like this, and inside here we're going to put our li. These are our children, our list items, and then I'll duplicate them. Let me scroll down and duplicate 4 times, and inside here we put black. Here we put red. Here we put blue, and here we put green like this. Okay, so let me take you back to the top and explain to you what is happening. I created 2 divs and I gave them different separate classes. This class is called book. This is to let you know that the items we're going to be listing here are books. That means the first div was used to group books. We came down and I entered another div, a separate div. That's our second div. I gave it a different class called colors. This is to let us know that the elements inside it are going to be what? Colors. Now let me take you to our browser, reload, and as you can see we have our list, and they're also in a block format, up to down, and we said block display type in HTML arrange objects in a vertical format this way. Okay, so paragraphs in HTML, that's the p tag, is a block display or supports the block display. List item, that's li, also supports the block display. Hi there, in this part of the tutorial we're going to talk about spans. Okay, so let me take you to the code editor, but before that let's look at a span. And we said a span is used to group inline items. Okay, items that are arranged in a horizontal format. Okay, so let me take you to the code editor, and then we use code to illustrate this. So before we can explain inline or spans, we need to enter some text here. Okay, so I'm going to write an article. So first I'll put an article tag in HTML like this, and then open it up this way because I'm going to write text here. This is going to be an article. So I'll put my article here. I love reading the following books, and I'll list my books. So let me see, story books, comma, history books, and science books, like this. Okay, now let's go to our web browser and then let's reload this page, and you can see we have a line with our text. I love reading the following books. We have story books, history books, and science books. We said inline display type supports the span wrapper. Okay, so we use spans to wrap inline items. So we're going to group our books using our span. So let's go to our code editor, and here we are. Let's group our books. So I'll simply open and put span, and we close it. Now inside here, let's put our books. So I'll copy my books and then put my books inside the span. Let's go back to our web browser, reload, and nothing changes. Okay, so we have just grouped our books using span. Okay, I hope the clue is simple. Okay, go ahead and replay this video if you're not clear. So with spans, we use it as a wrapper, as a container, or as a grouping mechanism to group items in a line format. So that is it. That's a quick rundown on diffs and spans in HTML. I hope this lecture has been informative. I'll see you in my next episode. Take care.